Why brand is not spending on Genshin anymore? Well, probably because you bankrupted yourself after pulling on the most predatory banner and C6ing Malvika and getting a Sitlali as well. Probably. Yeah. I'm hoping he says, because he realizes it's going in a negative direction and financially supporting a company when they're becoming more predatory is not a good idea.
You know, I started playing Genshin on October the 23rd, 2021. 3.5 years. I have such fond memories of this whole experience. Ever since the first day that I started the game, I remember I got topped up by a friend. And it was great, dude. I remember pulling on the bar.
Why does that sound... I got topped up by your mother. What? That's language that I hate is being like normalized in the gacha space is topping up. Just say you're spending money that you don't have. You're being financially irresponsible on an anime woman. And if you can't say that proudly out loud, then you have a fucking problem. This topping up shit is bullshit, and we all know it is. Okay, it's the same reason why they don't want to say, I spent $19.99 on doing a 10 pull. They want you to say, oh, I spent 1,600 Primo gems. I hate the language that's become normalized in the gacha space. It's so bad.
Anna, hoping to get Tartaglia, getting Chi-Chi. Really fun times. And I really value and appreciate all of those memories. But I think it's time for a bit of a change. But before we get into the video, let me tell you about one of the coolest cameras on the market right now.
Oh my god, I love that one!
20% off during the spring sale. Click
Hell
the link in the
yeah.
description. Game.
Dude, I will. Dude, I'm gonna click that link in the description. Where's it at? Here we go. Amazon link. Bada bing, bada boom. There you go, chat. Look at that. Big camera. Huge. Huge.
Crazy about the lore, the story. So I ain't going anywhere, just as a heads up. But I've noticed a severe lack of enjoyment with a certain aspect of the game recently. And that's... But I've noticed a severe lack of enjoyment with a certain aspect of the game recently. And that's...
Oh. Uh-oh.
With anything combat related. And it's not just because I find it way too easy. That is a big reason, and it's entirely self-inflicted, and I'll explain more of that in a minute. Every combat event you just breeze through, or even the ones that you struggle with, it's the endgame in Genshin just is not for me, dude. It's every single time, no matter what brush you paint it with, different strokes, different aesthetics, it's always the same thing. It's always hyper-inflated HP enemies versus a timer. I'm not a fan.
Dude, I can't believe it took him 3.5 years to realize this. Chat, to give you a little bit of context, he played 5 months after launch. I have been saying this since week 2. What I figured out in 14 days, it took him 3.5 years to fucking realize. I'm not even gonna lie, that's crazy. Bro must have booted up the game and closed his fucking eyes when playing the game. There's just simply no way.
Fan of the timer stuff. Genshin has enough FOMO, it has enough time-limited things going on. The last thing I want to do when going into some fun endgame combat activity is fight against the clock again. Because I feel like we do that in
Well, that's all it is, because there's no hard mechanics to avoid. If you don't like that, then quit the fucking game. That's straight up it. Quit the fucking game. If you're playing Genshin for the story, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking... No, and I mean this genuinely. I mean this genuinely. And I mean this on everything. If you don't like playing the game and you're playing for the story, you are a moron. You can go online right now and watch hundreds of thousands of hours of things that are better than Genshin Story. Look me in my eye and you tell me a single one of these things I'm about to list that the Genshin Story is better than. JoJo Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4, Part 5, Monster, Vinland Saga, Orb Rotation of the Earth, Erased, Berserk, Hellsing, Hell's Paradise, Chainsaw Man, Parasite, Alice in Borderland, Uzumaki, the manga, Death Note, Vinland Saga, Frieren, Mushoku Tensei, just to name a few. Jet, I would rather watch all of One Piece than engage in Genshin Impact's story. When people go live and say, oh my god, the story was so good, 9.34 out of 10. Just say you've never watched any other story in your fucking life. Just say that I'm an idiot and I've only seen gotcha stories. Like, bro, go play Metaphor ReFantasio, Persona 3, Persona 4, Persona 5. Fucking Pokemon X and Y has a better story. There's just, you cannot tell me a single thing that Genshin has done better than any of these other shows. You know that's the truth. It is mediocrity incarnate. It's as if it's, you know what it is? You know what it is? Genshin Impact is One Piece if Chopper was Boots the Monkey, and every time anything impactful ever happened, Chopper has to go, oh my god! Breaks fourth wall. Viewer at home! What's Luffy gonna do? It's terrible. And then people say, oh, the lore, the lore, the lore. The lore that you have to read in fucking books in fragmented pieces scattered amongst the entire fucking planet that you have to go find. Yeah, bro, if you go and you read all of those, it might be pretty fun. It might be. But bro, you are such a loser, it's insane. Jesus Christ. That's the game you're gonna delve into the lore for? You're gonna go and read books? So, oh dude, look at this. Apparently back in fucking Unconomia, shit was pretty rough. Jesus Christ. Like, at least go play Elden Ring and experience the lore of that, at least for the love of God. And that's why I fucking hate people like this. Because it's like, you just haven't experienced anything in your life if you think this thing is delivering you a quality narrative experience. Just look what they fucking did to Capitano. They Mary sued his ass. All of that for the strongest mortal, and they're gonna Mary sue him? That's fucking insane. Dude, here's a fun fact, and I mean this on my life. You know what game has better lore and story than Genshin Impact? Five Nights at Freddy's. Straight up. Her. Mechanical Bear has better lore than retard-ass Paimon. And you know that's the truth. Good lord.
Enough in real life, dude. Fighting against the clock is something everybody is always doing. There's never enough time. I want a bit of a breath of fresh air, you know? I want to go into an endgame combat mode, and I want to be able to build stupid teams and have a chance. I want to be able to go into...
I want to remind everybody, this guy literally told me that I was being too much of a hater for Genshin. And now he's just saying all of the things that I fucking said. Brother, I was never a hater of Genshin Impact. I am a guy who is saying the truth of Genshin Impact, and it makes you mad. Also, Itoma, thank you for the raid. Me saying truthful things, and I really want you to go through this. I want you to tell me. I don't want you to tell me how I'm saying it. I don't want you to tell me about how it makes you feel. I want you to tell me, and I challenge anybody to do this. Tell me how I'm wrong. Because I say these negative things, these things that the game needs to improve on in a very enraged, passionate way. Because it's been 4 years of me screaming into an abyss of everybody who has earmuffs on. It's nuts.
Do it solo and have a chance, even if it takes me an hour compared to 5 minutes. That's what's fun for me. And I don't think we're going to get that. Build stupid teams and have a chance. I want to be able to go into it solo and have a chance, even if it takes me an hour compared to 5 minutes. That's what's fun for me. And I don't think we're going to get that. I don't think that's
Obviously not.
going to be a thing in Genshin. And
This game is made for babies.
if it is, I will eat my words. But it's made me sit and think over...
If you want that, play Wuthering Waves. I want to remind you, everything that he has asked for is in Wuthering Waves. I wonder why he doesn't cover Wuthering Waves. Everything he's asking for is in Wuthering Waves. I wonder why he's not covering Wuthering Waves. Everything he's asking for is in Wuthering Waves. I wonder why he's not playing Wuthering Waves. Everything he's asked for is in Wuthering Waves. I wonder why he's not playing Wuthering Waves. I love asking content creators in the Genshin space that. Man, I really want this cool thing. Well, it's in Wuwa. I'm not going to play it. Oh, why's that? Oh, the co-op. Oh, okay. That's the reason?
For the last few months, to be honest.
Doesn't every endgame encounter have a timer? Yes, and you can overcome them in holograms with a single character. It has been done thousands of times.
And I want to make a change to my account, and I want to stop topping up. This isn't because I don't support the game, it's not because I don't want the characters. Of course I do, everybody does. It's one of the biggest drawing points of Genshin, right? But it is because of a few different reasons, and probably not only what you're expecting. I think what I'm going to do is I'm still going to use the Welkin, the Battle Pass, those kinds of things, be a low spender, but I'm not topping up anymore. At least not for like...
I'm not spending money on the game, but I'm gonna spend money on the game. Oh, but dude, no. Like, bro. Nobody called him out on that. Wait, did I see that right? Best stuff is BP and Welkin. After that, nothing more. Yeah, man, the best way to not spend on Genshin is to only spend a little bit on Genshin. Oh my god. I'm gonna fucking puke.
Random banner characters and stuff. Maybe if, you know, a character that I've been waiting for the longest time comes out, but then maybe I'll just save instead, you know?
And then bro said, well, maybe if a really cool character's coming out, then I'll buy him. So, okay, why I'm not spending in Genshin anymore? Oh, but I'm gonna buy the Welkin. Oh, but I'm gonna buy the Battle Pass. And oh, maybe if there's a really cool character, I won't spend, or I'll spend. What the fuck?
I've currently got like almost 100 pulls saved on my account just by not spending recently because I'm really not a big fan of any of the characters coming out at the minute, man. And the only reason I see...
Bro has 100 pulls saved because he just whaled over $2,000 for Malvika, and these are leftover. Let's not spin this false narrative that you saved up 100 pulls. Okay? Let's chill the fuck out there, buddy boy.
C6 Malvika was because I made a stupid...
Someone in comment talked about you? Okay. Tectone vid incoming. Yes, sir.
Stupid bet on Twitter, and I knew either way I'd have got shit for doing it, and I would have got shit for not doing it.
No, you would not. No one would have been upset at you if you just said, hey guys, I don't want to spend $2,000 on this. It was just a joke. Ooh, dude, they would have came after me. Shut the fuck up. It's such a fucking lie, bro.
Go back and change that? I don't think so. I like to stick by the mindset of I wouldn't change anything that I've done because it molds you into the person that you are today. I think that about everything, terrible stuff that's happened in life. I wouldn't go back and change anything. But here's the other thing. I've recently moved country. You've probably noticed the background's very different. Hopefully you like it because it's a work in progress right now, but I think it's looking pretty good. But I've also started a secondary side of business here. And things are expensive, dude. The standard of living in this country compared to the UK is way higher than what I'm used to.
This place that I willingly moved to is very expensive. Well then why did you move there? Why did you move there, bro? Like, then move somewhere else. Like, what the fuck did you do that for, bro?
But it's a much more beautiful place, and I couldn't imagine being in a nicer place, other than Japan when I go for 3 weeks in a couple of months. IRL gacha, shiny cardboard gacha, or Pokemon, as a lot of you might know it, is starting to become a side business of mine. It's been a hobby of mine ever since I was a child. I've loved playing the games. I played the TCG as a kid. I collected the cards as a kid, got rid of some amazing cards in my pocket in the washing machine. It still haunts me to this day. But I did get back into Pokemon a few months ago, and I started making Pokemon content.
Let me guess. His Pokemon content is spending a bunch of money and then opening packs. I bet you he doesn't play the game a single time. $500 buy for Pokemon. I opened Pokemon packs. I opened $400 of Pokemon. My first Pokemon card show, buying Pokemon, secret Pokemon boxes you can buy, amazing Pokemon deals, secret Pokemon, opening every Stellar Crown. I can be the master said, yeah, man, you're really playing Pokemon. You're really playing Pokemon. Now, I too engage in Pokemon. I too engage in Magic the Gathering. You know what I've done for my content? Going to a local tournament and fucking winning. Here's a fun fact. Every time I've streamed Pokemon or Magic the Gathering, I've won every single tournament that I've been a part of. Because I actually, play the games. If you play Raging Bolt, you're a bitch. Pokemon fans will agree en masse. Man, why am I not surprised? Anybody shocked that his only content is just opening cards and screaming about getting lucky pulls? I know. Imagine that.
Currently in the process of setting up my own online store, which I'm looking at right now.
Maybe he doesn't know what the word playing means because he comes from Genshin Impact, a game with no content.
It's a work in progress, so I'm not going to show you all yet. But yeah, I have a second YouTube channel, Pokebran. If you're interested in Pokemon stuff, feel free to check it out. If you're not,
by Pokemon stuff, he means opening packs, and that's it.
Don't. I'd rather only people interested check it out because that's the whole point of it, right? Yeah, I'd rather save extra money to be able to put into...
The reason why he said that is because there's a thing called dead subs. And if a channel has a bunch of subs that aren't watching or engaging with their content, it actually prevents the algorithm from pushing their videos. So it's actually a fucking curse, actually. Did you know that? A little bit of lore there, a little bit of lore.
Something else that I'm also passionate about, considering Genshin Impact is a free-to-play game.
Bran Online is passionate about opening Pokemon cards. That is insane. I think you might find a lot of passion in the Las Vegas casinos as well, because I believe you have a gambling addiction, my opinion.
And I have characters on my account now to do everything. I don't need another main DPS. I have Nuvela, I have Arlecchino, I have Mawika. I don't need another support. I have Kazuha, I have Xilonen, I have all the Hydro applicators at this point. Your Lansing Show. Dude.
I bet Bran 200 subs in the next year. He will pull for another big unit. He will wail for another big unit. And if he doesn't, you know what? I'll give him a little less than that. I'll give him 100 subs if he lasts a year without wailing on another unit. Yep, absolutely.
I have everything that I could possibly want on this Genshin account. They could quite easily throw a spanner in the works with that and introduce a new element or something, which might be looking kind of likely with the moon stuff. I don't know. But even then, man, I think I'd rather have that feeling of pride from saving a little bit extra rather than topping up $500 just to get a character or two.
I like how every single time he talks about, but unless there's a really cool thing coming, then that might be a problem. So what he's saying is, as long as only really bad characters come out forever, then I'll be fine. But if something cool comes out, I don't know, I might have to spend. Jesus Christ.
You know? So I think this is probably a huge turning point in my story as a Genshin player. But it's also a really exciting turning point. It's like starting a whole new chapter.
You're not even gonna do it.
Of my Genshin story and experience. So I am looking forward to it, but I'm also not stupid. I'm not gonna class this account as a free-to-play account or a low-spender account. No, it's a whale account at this point. I have 2 limited C6 characters. I have a few limited...
Hey, Bran, if you love the game so much, and you love Paimon and the story so much, why don't you just restart a free-to-play account? That way you can go through all of Inazuma and all of Natlan all over again, man. If you like it so much, make a new one. Say that, hey, man, I want to be good. I wanna, really embrace being free. Yeah, man, start over. Why wouldn't you just start over? I don't get it, man. If you love it so much, just restart, man. I don't get it.
Standard characters. It is what it is. But from this point on, I do think I'm going to become a low spender. Welkin Battle Pass only. And I'm curious what you guys think about that. I think it's a good decision because it is going to allow me to focus on other things that I'm super passionate about as well. But I don't want you all getting the wrong idea that I've lost.
Now he can focus things that he's super passionate about. So, we're not super passionate about Genshin Impact anymore? But I thought it was your favoritist and the bestest game of all time. I don't get it. I thought you said anybody who says the game's bad is just being a hater. That's weird. So you're going to stop spending money on Genshin because you want to spend money on opening Pokemon cards because that's your real passion? Weird. It's weird how you're saying you moved to a new country and now you can't afford to spend on Genshin anymore because it's so expensive, but your other channel just said that you've spent over $2,000 in the past 2 weeks on opening Pokemon cards. What's that about? Maybe I don't get it. Can somebody else explain that to me? Because maybe I'm just missing the point. I'm not gonna spend. I'm just gonna spend a little. Oh, okay. You know, I have a theory. Does anybody curious? Because I don't want to overshare. I don't want to overshare. Yeah, so here's my theory. Universally, in totality, every single Genshin Impact streamer's channel is the lowest it's ever been. And so I have a theory that they realize that Snezhnaya is being pushed back a year, and they realize, oh, this cash cow's all dried up, and they need to get off this sinking ship, and they need to find pastures new. But that is just my theory. That is just, hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Uh-oh. Think content creators are realizing they pigeonholed themselves pretty hard. And you know what's going to be even worse? When they realize they got to try to get views in other categories now. And then they'll realize they're just not good enough. And they'll go back to Genshin and they'll realize it's too late. Uh-oh. Not a good look, brother man. It is sink or swim time, buddy boy.
Lost any passion for Genshin because honestly, when this lore dropped the other day about the moon stuff, it reignited something in me that I haven't felt in, I would say, since Natlan was announced. And even
so, bro is saying he hasn't felt passionate in the game in over 6 months. I thought this was the best game ever. That's what I thought. Wasn't that what everybody was saying? And they told my ass that I was being a dick. You're goddamn right. But here's the thing, man. I am absolutely a bullshit detector. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, uh-oh. Smell that shit a mile away, brother man. You cannot look me in my eyes and tell me that you are loving this for 4 years. Absolutely not.
Before that, dude, when Natlan was announced, I thought I was going to be so much more hyped about Natlan because it was my most anticipated nation in the whole game.
Uh-oh. I hope you're not about to say that you wanted the Nation of War and it's too Mickey Mouse because I said that and you said I was being a hater. I sure hope he's not about to say that because he said I was being a hater for saying that.
And when we got the teaser and it was the Saurian stuff, it plummeted.
Oh, well, that's fucking crazy. Because that's the same shit I said half a year ago, and you called me a fucking hater. Jesus Christ. I mean, good Lord. Just cause you don't get it don't mean that I'm wrong. And just cause I ain't sucking the dick of this company don't mean that I'm a hater. I can't help that you're too dumb to understand what I'm saying. But if you just listen for 5 fucking seconds, you'll realize, oh wait, you might be onto something here. These people go into this shit with such heavy negative biases, they can't open their fucking ears with the ways Dick's in them so far. Well, that's true. I guess by his own logic, I guess he's a hater now. That's crazy. So Brand's a hater of Genshin Impact.
I'll keep it a buck, dude. It plummeted to the depths. And then Natlan came out, and the story itself, absolutely phenomenal. And I really...
Cap! This, Let's clarify what we mean. Let's clarify. The story had nice moments, but getting to those moments was a pain in the ass. It is not worth dragging your nuts through glass for 6 hours to get a blowjob at the end of it. Unless you're desperate as hell. Because I can go to any other bitch and get my dick sucked immediately. Genshin is the game where you gotta drag your fucking nuts through glass first. Go watch Freerun. Go watch Vinland. Go become an anime reaction channel. Because if you're out here pogging over Genshin's story, your IQ is so fucking low, it's embarrassing. You will come if you watch Solo Leveling. You will cry if you watch Freerun. If your reaction to fucking Genshin story is this passionate. Jesus Christ.
Thoroughly enjoyed the whole Orcon quest, but I really do feel like...
No, you fucking didn't. No, bro, do these people not... Brother, saying you thoroughly enjoyed the Archon quest means you enjoyed every bit of dialogue up until the nice moments. You are saying you enjoyed the moments. Oh my God, these people just don't know how to fucking talk. It's insane. It's just a fucking lie, bro. In your own fucking words in this video, you have said that you have lost all passion for the story since Natlan was announced to be more about the fucking dinosaurs than the war. You did not enjoy it thoroughly. You just said that you did not enjoy it thoroughly. Good God, bro's backtracking to cover his ass so bad. Jesus.
Now that the Orcon quest has ended, it's kind of stopped there. And just as a heads up, I'm recording this on the 12th of March. I'm recording this before the live stream. That could change a little bit, for sure. And I'll let you know in the comments. I'll pin a comment just to let you know if any of that does change. But I don't think anything's going to change the fact that I'm going to stop spending as much money on Genshin. I think it's a smart decision.
Oh, not spend as much. Oh, that's not what your title says. That's not what your title says, brother. Ooh. Man, oh man.
Decision business-wise, health-wise, finance-wise, just in general, man. One thing I also want to do is pour more money into the Genshin content, giving things away, doing prize funds, things like that. So the money's still going to be going to Genshin. It's going to be going to the Genshin communities and stuff like that. You guys, I just don't need...
Bro's trying to beat me so bad. Hey, brother, you let me know when you've given over $500,000 away to your community. And then you'll only be 70% of the way there. Bro, you can imitate me, but you will never be me, brother.
Need anything else on my account now. My account feels pretty complete. Yeah, time for a new chapter in this Genshin.
Yeah, until the new element's released. This video will age horribly, by the way.
Journey, guys. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Let me know if you like the new setup. It's a bit dark at the...
I think it's actually quite nice. Yeah, I do think it's quite nice. However, man, it sure would be nice to be able to trust the words of these content creators in this Genshin Impact space. Sure would be nice. Problem is, I fucking don't. And neither do you. It's so lame. It's so lame.